ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of organizing team, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all in this venue, and it's very nice and important to start this important session on Somaliland readiness, on governance, economy, and strategic conference. I would like to welcome Honorable Khadr Hussein Abdi, the Minister for Presidency, to explain for the first place what Somaliland is ready for investment.
Good morning and welcome to Somaliland. It is a great honor to stand before you today in the presence of our President and our partners from around the world to share a story of a nation that's ready, confident, and open for investment. Somaliland is a nation built on peace, democracy, and determination. For more than 3 decades, we have proven stability and good governance. That stability and good governance are possible in the Horn of Africa. We have held regular elections, built independent institutions, and maintained peace through dialogue and respect for the rule of law. Today, Somaliland stands as one of the safest and most stable environments for investment in the region. Our legal systems protects property rights, guarantees fair treatment for investors, and ensures full repatriation for profits. We have established one-stop investment center to make it easy for businesses to register, operate, and grow. Somaliland is politically stable, legally secure, and economically ready for your investment. At the heart of our vision is Berbera, our country's economic engine. Berbera is more than a port. It is the future logistics hub for the Horn of Africa. Situated on the Gulf of Aden, just few hours from the world's busiest shipping lines, Berbera connects Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. With the partnership of DP World, we have transformed Berbera port into a modern, high-capacity gateway that can serve not only Somaliland, but also landlocked Ethiopia and beyond. The Berbera-Ethiopia corridor is now opening new trade routes that are faster, safer, and more efficient, making Somaliland a natural trade bridge between continents. We are also developing the Berbera Free Zone, industrial parks, and airport facilities, creating an integrated environment for logistics, warehousing, and light manufacturing. While logistics is our flagship, the opportunities in Somaliland reach far beyond the port. We invite investors to explore key sectors: energy and renewables, agriculture and livestock, fisheries, mining and minerals, tourism and hospitality, information and communication, technology, real estate, and infrastructure. Our government supports investors through tax incentives, customs exemptions, and public-private partnership in major national projects. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to invest in a nation that offers stability, opportunity, and commitment. We have the peace investors need, and laws investors trust, and a location the world trade demands. Somaliland doors are open, our people are ready, and our future with your investment will shine even better. Thank you very much.
A couple of questions, but before, I will give the floor Dr. Bailey. Dr. Bailey, the Senior Advisor of Economic for President of Somaliland, will explain economic readiness, the fertility of Somaliland investment, and hold the situation of Somaliland economy. Dr. Bailey, welcome.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Mr. President, Excellencies, the ministers available here, audiences, honorable guests, investors, potential investors, and all the organizers. It's a pleasure for me to be here, Mr. President, and to be speaking about investment in our country. It is very important that we explain what we offer. At the end of the day, what is investment? Everybody knows what investment is. It is your income, part of it you consume, and what is remaining, you want to use it for future consumption. And therefore, if you want to give up your money, if you want to give up the use of your money for a period of time, what is the best possible manner of doing that so you can maximize the income out of this? This is really what investment is all about. I'm not explaining because you guys know investment, you have been working on investment, that's why you are here. Now, Mr. President, investment has specific guidelines that everybody looks for. Now, before I speak about Somaliland and what we can offer, I want to go over factors that are extremely important for investment. There are 10 factors internationally accepted as principles that guide investment, particularly if you are doing your investment overseas, outside the country. These are called 10 commandments, or 10 very important elements that everybody looks for. So let's go through the 10, and then we can see where we stand as Somaliland. In fact, there's 10 factors and one extra one called a special attention. So 11 of them. Now, number one that people look for is political stability in a country. Everybody looks for political stability. There is a very strong correlation, one-to-one correlation, between stability and investment, amount of investment that comes to a country. The more stable you are politically, the more you can attract, because there is no turmoil, there is no turbulences. That's number one. Number two, factor number two is economic growth, economic strength. Can the economy of that country support the goods and services that I will produce? Is there a market? What is the growth of that economy? It's an extremely important element. If the country is stagnant and there is no growth, then that mitigates against additional investment in the country. Number three, attitude of the public. What is the attitude of public towards investment, particularly from outside? And we know how Somaliland is. Somaliland people are born with that element of entrepreneurship. So we have a very important gift to give to the investors. Number four, government policies. What are the government policies in attracting investment, in safeguarding investment, in allowing people to be safe in their investment climate? Number three is infrastructure. Number five is infrastructure. The investor will look at the infrastructure of the country. How far do I have to travel to bring my raw material to my industry? How long does it take, and what is the cost? At the end of the day, everything that you do is converted into cost and a benefit. That is also very important. Number six is labor. What is the labor environment of that country? Labor meaning here, the employees. Do they have the skills? Do they have the discipline? Do they have the ethics? At the end of the day, can I find skilled people who have the authority, the skills, and the discipline for them to produce what I want them to produce? And number seven, banking and finance. The central bank governor is here. Banking and finance are extremely important for investors to come. How do I use my liquidity? What does the bank offer? Can I move my money around? And what can the bank offer? Can I get shorter loans? What are the interest rates? If I keep my money for a while, what do I get? So banking and finance is another element that people look for. Number eight, government bureaucracy. Extremely important for investors. how bureaucratic is the government in terms of delivering the services that they need? If I want to get a license, how long does it take? And there is always comparison. There is a comparison, and you can always rate. Countries are rated. If I want to get my license, how long does it take? If I want to get my license of my car, my vehicles, my industry, how long does it take? So bureaucracy and less of it is extremely important element that all investors look for. Local business. What is the local business community like? And that is to say, availability of, do they have local lawyers? Will I get qualified accountants? Will I get secretariat? Do they have all these things that will be working in my office? And how complicated it is for me to get access to these local markets. That is number 9. And number 10 is quality of life. If I'm going to move my family to that country with my kids and all that, can they accommodate me? Will I have the same quality of life that I am living in whatever country you are? So these are 10 very important factors that I am sure everybody evaluates when they are doing an investment. Now, one bonus factor, they say, Mr. President, one bonus factor, and that is tax incentive. Tax incentive. Now, if I am bringing all my money, if I am investing all this, do I get some tax benefits when I am first establishing the company? If I make a lot of money and I am giving a lot of taxes in general, what do I benefit for the government? These are 11 items that are extremely important that everybody looks for. Now, as far as Somaliland economy is concerned, Somaliland economy is growing. It is growing, and it's growing under a very stable government, politically stable government with elections and rules of law. The minister in charge of investment and the minister of trade, they are all here, and they can attest to this. Of course, the president is the guide, ultimate guide of this policy. There are policies, there are procedures, and there are activities going on to open the doors, as Mr. President will say all the time, open the doors for good investment. And so Somaliland is ready, and we are very pleased that you are here. I don't want to go beyond my whatever minutes I had, but please welcome. We are happy to receive you. We have many, many, many opportunities here. Do explore. I'm sure you have already done that, and we are here to support, to facilitate, to assist. Thank you very much and welcome.
For now, I will give the floor Mr. Prashant Patel, the COO of Horn of Africa from DP World, the Emirati giant company invested in Somaliland. He would explain the strategic venture conference, especially practical experience on DP World presence in Somaliland. Welcome, Mr. Patel.
Thank you. Let me begin with a very simple yet powerful truth. Peace and stability breeds confidence, right? And confidence drives investment. And that is exactly what has happened to DP World here. And we're not here from yesterday. This is our 9th year in the country. And Somaliland has its greatest strength as its peace and stability. And it is not today or yesterday. It's been over 3 decades that Somaliland has demonstrated a remarkable record of peace, democratic governance, and resilience, something which is rare in the region, right? And these qualities, they form the bedrock of any investment to pour in and to build partnerships. And partnerships which are not just based on opportunities, these partnerships are based on trust. Somaliland stands today as tall, a beacon of peace and stability. And it would not be out of place to even say, right? It's an ocean of opportunities for you to invest in the country. Thank you very much.
For the beginning, I would ask Dr. Bailey, you mentioned Somaliland economy readiness. What are the key sectors that demonstrate this readiness most strongly in 2025? What you can say?
Thank you very much. I would say that the number one element that would attract investment to Somaliland is the strategic location that it's placed in the world. This is a country that links many, many countries, many continents, in fact. And so the strategic location is a very important gift that's given to Somaliland that will attract. We are in the middle of the world. So that is one issue. The second issue, coming to resources, you name it, we have it. We have not been able to exploit them yet, but you name it, and we have it. We have agriculture, plenty of fertile land, and people say Somaliland is dry. I can show you places where water continue sprouting and going to the ocean. Left and right, east and west, plenty of water. Aquifer is the closest in the world, aquifer, 400 meters, and you have plenty of water coming. And there is enough rain. If we have the facilities, Mr. President, to manage our water, we have adequate water and adequate rainfall. I was just asking the other day, I was in a place where whenever I am passing, there's water going. And it never goes shorter. And I was saying, when people assess, and they say Somaliland and Somaliland is this and that, one of the driest countries, they have not seen anything. Maybe when they come here, and they are in this area around here, and they have not seen where the water is. So I think what we have to do is we have to take people, and if you are ready, we will take you to places where there is plenty of land and plenty of water, surface water, you can see them. So agriculture is one. The second issue, you gave me a very good question, and it's a big one, so you have to be patient with me.
Actually.
Then there is the marine resources. I mean, the longest shore in the continent. One of the longest, if not the longest. And all the marine resources are available. You go there, and you can see fish and the family of fish, marine resources, all coming out, as if they are taking a bath outside the ocean. We have to invest in them. That's another very important element. Livestock, everybody knows the livestock population ratio of our country. But we have not done anything yet. We need investment to industrialize livestock. Not only the meat, but the skin, the hides, everything that's about the livestock. It's only us who still move livestock on the hooves outside continents. So that is another very important element. And then, of course, there are minerals, untapped, totally untapped. We have places that people are saying that mountain, when they look at it, they say that mountain contains X, Y, and Z minerals. We have not done anything. These are all dormant, and we need you to look at them and to tell us what is in there. I am sure there are also those resources. And more importantly, the resource we have, entrepreneurship, that's innate in our nature as Somalis, innate in our nature. You can always find someone who is very familiar with what you are working on, who can work with you and who can guide you. We are born entrepreneurs. And everybody knows. The other day I was listening to a news, and he was saying the best entrepreneurs in the world are Jews. It's in the internet, you may have seen. And the second best in the world are Somalis. I mean, you go and see around the world. Come from London, you see what they do, how they come in and what they do now. Minneapolis. I mean, I don't want to mention names, but you know what Somalis can do. So one very important resource is just us, Somalis, who are born business people. So these are some of the resources, very important resources that we have. I don't want to...
Okay,
go ahead.
I will come to my second question. When we see the other fact, access to finance and infrastructure gaps are remaining significant challenges. How the government is tackling that situation?
Now, financing, we talk about financing, Mr. President. The best financing that anybody can strive for is domestic financing. That's number one. You have to make sure that you cover from your own resources the cost of running government. The cost of running government has to come from inside. If it's not coming from inside, there is something somewhere that's not working right. That's number one. Number two, you have investment. We are talking about investment and development. Development fund is available in the world. but you have to do what needs to be done. There is the World Bank, as you know, African Development Bank, international banks that we can access to. Not the World Bank and African Development Bank alone, but there is the Islamic Development Bank, and there are other major institutions from different countries. There is Islamic Development Bank, there is funds that belong to countries, there is Norway, NORAD, there is a number of other institutions. Now, you can get a lot of money from them, but what do you have to do? You have to submit a bankable proposal. Number one. Number two, and more importantly, once the money is given to you, use it exactly the way you have signed you will use it for. And number three, produce what is needed to be produced. Get skilled people to manage these resources. I can assure you by the time you spend 40% of what is given to you, the second one is on the line. These institutions are measured, their performance is measured by how much money they release to the developing countries. And more importantly, I must say, this is a country that qualifies only for grant. Only for grant. So you can get hundreds of millions of grant if you do what needs to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bailey. You explained very well and respond very nice. I would give the floor Minister Khadar. Honorable Minister, Somaliland has sustained a lot of remarkable political stability for 3 decades. So how this stability has been deliberately used to create enabling environment for investment and creating opportunities?
Thank you. First of all, Somaliland is a liberal democracy. And liberal democracy does not entail only elections, but it also entails economic governance. And our economic governance is based on liberal economic principles in which we respect private property, freedom of choice, market mechanisms such as supply and demand, competition, profit motives, and limited government intervention. The environment that we have created as Somaliland after a decades of stability is in which we want to depart from the one that creates enmities between people neighboring and all the people in the region. We want to welcome Somalis. Particularly, Mr. President, one of our key objectives of this conference is to show Somali people in the Horn of Africa that Somaliland is their home, that they can come, live freely, and invest. So that's as a result of a decades of peace. It's a time to show maturity, political maturity, in which Somaliland is politically independent and seeking international recognition and economically wants to integrate within the greater Horn of Africa. And particularly focusing on Somali investors. So Somalis, wherever you are, Somaliland is your home. Thank you.
Respecting the time frame of the program, I would ask you the second question. What's the specific governance reforms or institutional mechanisms being implemented to ensure investors face a transparent, predictable, and accountable government process?
Yes, for the last few months, the Minister of Investment and the other ministries, like the Minister of Commerce, the Minister of Finance, they have been tirelessly working on and focusing to create a framework of laws that are protecting the rights of investment, that is attracting the investors, and one of the key changes is the creation of a public-private partnership. So the government is seeking to partner with investors wherever they are, if they are from Djibouti, if they are from Nairobi, if they are from Mogadishu. So that's, I think, a key milestone. We are also trying to facilitate investment and cut the bureaucracy. Dr. Bailey spoke a lot about the bureaucracy and how it limits the investors' maneuvers. So we have created a one-stop shop where they can do all the registrations, and we are working on also how we can make tax exemptions. In all the regions in Somaliland, we have created free zones and industrial parks. If it is Marodi Cheh, Awdal, Sahel, Sanaag, and Togder, where investors can come and get free land for their investment. So we are working all fronts to create an environment where investors feel safe, comfortable, and see that the legal framework we have here in Somaliland is protecting them. And I think that is the key for the reforms that we are making, that they feel their investment is safe in Somaliland. And we are keeping to work on that. The other element is the transparency and accountability and government intervention. The government is limiting its role in the market in any other liberal economic country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Before the conclusion, I will give the microphone, Mr. Bachel. DB Well is a partnership for the largest partnership with Somaliland. You invested Berbera Port, one of the largest foreign investments in Somaliland history. From your experience, what is the main reason convinced DB Well to trust Somaliland and invest that large number of money?
I guess if we look back, and Dr. Bailey has already identified those key elements of investment in any country. For us, number one item which ticked was the peace and stability in the country. And it has continued to remain like that. And as I recently mentioned, even at the 9th year, we really feel proud of being here, no doubt about it. And the port is transforming, everyone knows it. We are growing, and I'm sure the journey will continue in the coming years.
The following question could be, how DB Well views Somaliland's role in the regional trade and logistics? And also, what's your view for future private investors to engage alongside your operation?
That's a wonderful question. I guess Dr. Bailey and Mr. Khadir also identified the unique strategic location of Somaliland, right? In the maritime history, this plays a very important role. And for us, our vision for Somaliland is more of a regional hub of transport and logistics, where you would have the ability to manufacture goods, export them, and also cater to hosting specialized economic clusters. Let's talk about, the Berbera-Wajale corridor, right? A 250-kilometer corridor which connects Berbera directly to the Ethiopian eastern region. And this provides landlocked Ethiopia with a relatively shorter, cost-effective, and alternative route to even Djibouti. And this corridor can be developed into a real warehousing, logistics, and industrial activities along the whole route of it. And Berbera port will serve as the nucleus of this growth. If I have to vision it, it's like Berbera becoming a modern port city linking Afrika to the Red Sea trade lanes. Right? It's a market on the rise where you have all the ingredients of success: security, the strategic location, and open for partnership. The foundation has been laid. And if you ask me, the next decade is more about growth, diversification, and shared prosperity. So invest with confidence, partner with purpose, and grow with Somaliland. Thank you.
Thank you for